In 1982, Nintendo developed and released a video game based on the famous cartoon character Popeye the Sailor. In this classic arcade-style game, the object was to collect the hearts dropped by Popeye's girlfriend Olive Oyl, while avoiding obstacles such as the bully Bluto and the old sea hag throwing bottles. It's a really fun game that's quite addicting, and one I would suggest giving a try if you've never played it before. But I bet right now you're asking yourself, what the heck is Pixel Dan doing talking about the Popeye arcade game on From Pixels to Plastic? Popeye was a game based on a cartoon character, and any collectibles would surely be based on the cartoon and thus not belong on this show, right? Well, that is where you're wrong, my friends.
Hey gang, welcome to another episode of From Pixels to Plastic. I of course am your host, Pixel Dan, and boy have I got something to show you guys today. Check this out. The Popeye board game. Now this isn't just any old board game based off the Popeye cartoon. Oh no, take a closer look. A board game based on the arcade game. I know, crazy, right? When I found out this existed, I had to pick it up and give it a try. The only problem is, I don't necessarily have the best track record playing board games with people, and I had a little bit of difficulty trying to find somebody to play with me, until I finally found somebody who wanted to step up and give it a shot. So what do you say, Link? You ready to get beat at some Popeye board game? Let's do this.
Okay, let's go ahead and start by taking a look at the game itself. The game was released by Parker Brothers. The box of the game features some great artwork of the characters' appearances from the video game. As you can see by the game board, the layout is very similar to the main screen in the Popeye video game. You have Olive Oyl in her house at the top of the board, and the ocean at the bottom, with several levels to walk across in between. The game pieces include the main Popeye playing piece, and a piece for Bluto. The game also comes with 3 dice. One of the dice is supposed to be red, but my board came with all white ones. There are also cards for the barrels that go on the sides of the board, as well as a stack of cards for the sea hag. And finally, we have the small hearts, which are the main object of the game to capture. Alright, now I will attempt to explain the rules of this game. Bear with me here, as the rules are a tad complicated. I'm gonna do my best to explain them to you without causing too much confusion. Now the gameplay is very similar to the video game, with the idea being that Olive Oyl is tossing those little hearts down the board, and Popeye must collect as many of them as he can. 2 to 4 players can play this game at a time. Everyone takes turns through the line playing as all 3 characters, Olive Oyl, Popeye, or Bluto. Here's the way this works. At the start of every turn, the person that is controlling Olive Oyl first must roll one of the dice 2 times. When the dice is rolled, if the number is even, one of the hearts is moved down to an even space. If the number is odd, the heart goes to an odd space. That same rule applies to the second roll. This way, at the start of every turn, 2 hearts get moved down the board. Now it's time for the person controlling Popeye to roll. You roll 2 dice to determine how many spaces you are allowed to move. Each space is sectioned off on the board, as you can see. If you come to a space with stairs, you are allowed to move either up a level or down a level. If you come to the area in the middle with the ladder, you can move down the ladder, but you cannot move up the ladder. If you come to an area that has a through sign, you can move through to come out on the other side of the game board. And lastly, if you come to a space that says drop off here, you can drop off the level, to go down to the level below where the arrow is pointing. While you're moving around the board, the idea is to collect as many hearts as you can. Just passing through the heart in a space is all you need to do to collect it.